practice, you access this divine or universal energy. And then the personal expression of that energy comes from the heart. So you take that energy, draw it into yourself, and it gets expressed in a creative way that makes you who you are as an individual. And that you don't want an imbalance. You want that relationship with the divine or God equal to your sense of self and the expression of yourself. And you want those well integrated. So it shows up in the yoga practice through accessing the physical back body and the front body. And so what happens is if you access the back body, this happens, right? But then you're rounding slightly. So to access the heart, you lengthen the side body, the shoulders rise up. You put the shoulder blades on the back. Bottom tips of the shoulder blades curl into the heart. So now you've got this really nice open heart. But you still are connected to the back body. You're still connected to the divine, and then your personal expression is much brighter, fuller, and you always have the support behind you. So the back body access typically happens first, right? So you fill out the back body. And literally, it's not shrugging your shoulders, because shrugging your shoulders looks like this. It's lengthening the spine and the side body so the shoulders rise up. Shoulders, blades go on the back, not down. And then bottom tips curl. They literally touch the back side of your heart, which lifts and expands the heart center when you do that. So we're going to add front body on top of back body, which means I'm going to be talking more about front body. I will remind you about the back body, but don't forget the back body, right? That's where you access all that universal energy and your physical power. When you build from there, you don't jump in the low back, you don't have pain in the low back, you don't have pain in the psoas muscle. If you do all front body, it looks more like this, and then you start saying, oh, I got this pinching at my hip flexor, or oh, my low back doesn't feel very good. So that's what happens if you don't balance the two actions. So that's all we're going to work on today. And the practice will look like it always looks, pretty basic. But I'm changing the focus just a little bit for you guys to expand your practice more so that you can add some heart, some personal expression to it. Go ahead and close your eyes and take a couple nice deep breaths. Settle into your natural breathing pattern. And again, begin following the path of your in-breath from just out in front of your nostrils to the top of the nasal passage and down to your heart center. And allow the exhale to be passive. Simply let the mind rest on the exhale. Watch the in-breath from just out in front of the nose to the point between the eyebrows, down to the point of the heart center. And on the out-breath, the mind rests. Breath in. And a long breath out. We're going to start standing, so you guys can head back to your mats. We'll start standing. Start at the top of your mat with your second twist parallel. You bring your hands to your heart. Take a nice deep breath and let your shoulders rise up so it lengthens. You feel the stretch from the hip bones all the way up underneath the armpits. And then plug in so you put your shoulder blades on your back. Excuse me. Root your tailbone down so the back body gets full and start to curl into a back body. And then pause for a minute. And hug the rib cage in so you move into the kidneys. And then rise up and curl back more. So you keep curling up and over the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. And periodically you stop and move into the back body. Good. And rise back to center. Bring your hands out in front of you. Bend your knees. Completely move into the kidneys and take a couple deep breaths. And back to center. Bring your hands to your heart again. So lengthen the side body. Shoulders rise up, but put your shoulder blades on the back. Draw your tailbone down to support the back body, and then rise up and curl over the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, just nice and slow. You're here for about 5 breaths. And periodically pause and stop and move into the back body. That's the difference. And come back to center, please, and take your hands out in front of you again. Bend your knees, get full in the back body. Take a couple nice full breaths. And one more time through. Bring your hands to your heart. Lengthen the side body. Put your shoulder blades on your back. Good. Move the tailbone down. Now gently curl up and over the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Lengthen up more. Move the tailbone down. Curl back. Keep lifting and curling over those bottom tips of the shoulder blades. And come back to center. And again, bend your knees, bring your hands out in front of you. Tuck your chin a little bit and really breathe fully into the back body. And look to ceiling. Bring your hands to your heart, sweep your arms on the other sides. Inhale, arms above the head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise halfway up and pause there. So the inner thighs flow back. Same thing, you want to lengthen the side body. Breathe and lengthen the core center of the room and place the bottom tips of the shoulder blades into the back so that you start to curl. And plant your hands, step back to plank. You hug the shins together. You lift the inner thighs up and the tailbone goes down. Now breathe, lengthen the side body, get your shoulders up over your wrists. Melt your heart so your shoulder blades settle onto your back. If you've lost, if the hips have dropped, you need to go back and reset the back body. Heart leads. Exhale down through chaturanga. And take lengthen the side body forward. Put the bottom tips of the shoulder blades into the back. And nice. Raise your hands. Back to plank pose. So power up the back body first, and then take a breath and lengthen the whole side of the body so the shoulders rise up over the wrists, and then place your shoulder blades on your back. The sides of the throat are flowing back a little bit. Exhale down through chaturanga. And take cobra pose. And go ahead and take a Breezy dog. So when you're in down dog, you can put just a micro bend in your knees. You wouldn't really even just unlock them a teeny bit, and then press your heels down towards the earth. You're going to get a little bit deeper in your toes. So reach the heels down towards the earth. Next, exhale, knees comes forward, step your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, get length in the spine for halfway. And exhale, pull forward. Inhale, sweep the arms on the mat, nice full breath. Exhale, bring your knees forward. Breeze on by your sides. Let's turn through. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, pull forward. Inhale, get length in the spine, rise up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Shins hug together, inner thighs lift, tailbone down. Go take a nice full breath and bring the shoulders up over the wrists, soften the heart. Exhale down through chaturanga. Inhale, cobra pose. Put your shins together just a little bit. Yes, that's it. And take downward facing dog, please. And your right leg rises up behind you, please. Step your foot all the way forward. Come down on your back knee. And if you have trouble, if you need more padding, you can flip your mat over for padding. But all of you, I want you to drag with your knee on the floor, drag forward with the left knee so you come in front of your knee. Got it? Bring your arms up. So draw the front rib cage in so you move into the kidneys, and then lengthen the whole side body and curl over the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Okay, go a little bit deeper in your lunge. Hug the rib cage in again, rise up and curl. So you just keep working nice and slow to curl a little bit more, and it's over the tips of the shoulder blades, right? The low back is lengthening down, and you curl over the tips of the shoulder blades. So then you turn your arms this way if you can. Try and straighten out. Reach to your fingertips. Don't. Yeah, I know. So just do the best that you can. You know, I'll be careful. Those adjustments over the back foot.
Straight up the shoulder. So it's just
All right.
on yesterday, so
Downward facing dog. All right, I'm glad you said something. Do the best you can.
that's what I do one foot. So
Okay. And if you need to not like do child's pose instead, that's fine. Okay. The left leg rises up behind you. And step your foot forward, please. And come down on your back knee. So stay with the toes pulled under on the back foot and drag so that you come in front of your kneecap. It's much more comfortable. Keep your back toes curled under, Jay. There you go. So start by drawing the tailbone down and hugging the rib cage in. Take your arms overhead. And lengthen, breathe, and rise way up, and then just curl over those bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Go deeper in your lunge. Hug the rib cage in, rise up, and curl. So you just take your time, you move nice and slow, and you think about your back bend coming from this point right up here, so that you don't take it in the low back. Reach through your fingertips. And come forward, take downward facing dog. Right leg rises up behind you. And then step your right foot forward. Hug your legs together for a little stability and take your arms up overhead. So think back body first, right? Fire up your back leg, the rib cage in. Now lengthen from the hip posts all the way up. Reach through your fingers with your hands are nice and bright. Be a lot of lift through the upper body. Good. Curl over the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. It'll lift the heart automatically. The minute you take the back bends up underneath the shoulder blades, it's nice and light. And again, it's your heart, please. Pause a minute. Pause the rib cage in so your kidneys get nice and forward. Take your left elbow to your right knee so you come into a twist. You can do this pose as you want. It's up to you if you don't want to. So you press the upper hand into the lower hand so your hands center at the middle of the heart. Make sure your back leg's lifted and strong. And now just extend your heart forward a little bit. Just a little teeny bit so you expand the pose out. Come back to center. Take your arms over head a moment. One breath. And downward facing dog. Left leg rises up behind you. And step your foot forward, please. Pause a minute, stabilize the lower body, and then take the arms up overhead. So your palms are facing each other. Good. Back body first. Fire up the back leg. Move into the kidneys, and then reach straight up to your fingertips. Palms face each other. And then remember you're curling right over the shoulder blades here, so the heart lifts. It gets much more expansive. You can feel it as you go into your back. And take your time. Pause, connect with the back body, and then rise up more and curl back a little bit more. And you just work in increments so that you can get deeper the pose. Bring your hands to your heart, come back to center. Set yourself up for the twist by moving more fully into the back body first, and then take the right elbow to the left knee. Keep the back leg strong and lifted. Round down through the outer left hip. Try to center your hands at your heart, so you want to get them out of your armpit and right to the center of the heart. Good. And now go ahead just a little bit, extend the heart forward. Press back leg. And come back to center, take your arms overhead please. And take downward facing dog. When you flow forward into plank from down dog, the adjustment that you need to make should happen from your feet, not your hands. So come forward, plank pose. Get strong in the back body, and then lengthen. Take a breath and bring your shoulders right up over your wrists and melt your heart. Keep the sides of the throat flowing back, and you should work from your knees. Yeah, right there, that's perfect. Exhale, down through chaturanga, heart leads, not the hips. Much better. And And downward facing dog. Go ahead and take child's pose for a minute. Table on the in-breath and downward facing dog on your out-breath. And bring your gaze between your hands and step your feet up to the top of the mat, please. Inhale, get length in the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms coming up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Find a focal point out in front of you. Grab a hold of your, sorry, you guys, right ankle. And keep your left hand at your head on the ground. Take a deep breath in, let your shoulders rise up and hug your elbows together, which gets your shoulder blades on your back. Draw your tailbone down. Bring your left arm up. Lead with your right inner thigh and push your foot away from you. And you want to be lifting the arm, the left arm, lifting the heart, and keeping the hips square to the earth. If you lift your right inner thigh as you push your foot away from you, that'll help keep the hips square. If you put a micro bend in your right elbow and then put your shoulder blade on your back, you'll do a little bit better by lifting the heart center. Line and reach through your fingertips. Yeah. And although your gaze is down, lift your head a little bit. Yeah, there you go. And go ahead and release, please. So switch sides. Lift your shoulders up. Hug your elbows together so the shoulder blades go on the back. And lift the tailbone down. Go ahead and take your right arm out in front of you. Lift the left inner thigh. You can pause and bend your left elbow. Get your left shoulder blade on your back more. Keep lifting from the inner thigh and pushing your foot away from you so that the hips remain square. Think about lifting your heart at the same rate that you're lifting your foot. To your heart. Keep your arms down by your sides, inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, fold forward. And get ready for the sun. Look halfway. And let your hands go actively. So in plank pose, take a deep breath and let your shoulders rise up over your wrists and then melt the heart, bring the shoulder blades on your back. Keep the back body full. Exhale down, reach your leg up. And take cobra pose. Good. So your alignment's 1,000 times better. And downward facing dog. Right leg rises up behind you. Keep it nice and straight and strong. And step your right foot forward, please. You're going to keep a long stance, so stay off the back heel and start to straighten your right leg. Feel free to grab your blocks. So you want to be straightening the right leg and make sure you're extending through the left heel. So first I want you guys to energetically hug your legs together and pull your right hip crease back. Draw the tailbone down so you just feel a little filling out through the back side of the waist. Keep that and see if you can extend your heart down towards your toes. Heart extends down. And then just soften the back of the neck a little bit. Round down to the base of the right big toe. And try pulling your right hip crease back a little bit more. And press the right quadricep muscle into the hamstrings. Take a nice deep breath and you want to lengthen, especially along the right side of the body, and then see if you can melt the heart a little bit more. So the temple needs to draw down so this turns. So keep this off of your leg and then try and extend your heart. And your knees maybe up your big toe because you're dropping your chin too much. Alright, soften your front knees, step back. Make sure you're reaching your heels down towards the earth when you're doing the walk. Left leg rises up behind you. And step your left foot forward. Straighten your left leg. Long stance. Make sure that you are reaching your back heel towards the earth, but it's not going to be touching. Run down to the base of the left big toe. Now just take a minute and put your legs together and pull the left hip crease back. Move the tailbone down a little bit and just feel the low belly through. And then start to melt the heart down towards your toes. So you start to lengthen this line and melt the heart down towards your toes. And soften the back of the neck a little bit. Round down to the base of the left big toe again and pull that left hip crease back one more time. So press the quadricep muscle back into the hamstrings on the left leg. And then you want to lengthen the side body, nice full breath, especially along the left side. That's where you're going to show up the most. And then again, melt the heart a little bit more and see if you can't hold it anymore. So if your stance is a little too wide because you lose your stability, see if you bring the foot in. Yeah, very good. You should feel a little more stable. Soften your front knee. Step back, downward facing dog. More. flag rises up behind your knees. And step that right foot forward. Pivot and plant your back foot at 90 degrees facing the wall. And bring your left hand to your hip, right forearm to the thigh. So spin open in this direction. Take a minute and draw the tailbone down. Move into the kidneys a little bit. And extend your heart towards the front of your room. Just a tad bit. Good. So the curl comes from the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Take the arm all the way overhead. It's actually facing back towards the cabinets a little bit. Good. Go deeper in your lunge. Deeper in your lunge. Your left armpit closes towards your face. Then it's the rib cage that opens, right? Some of you are losing it in the kidneys. You need to fill out to stay full in the back body so you don't collapse along the waist. All right, bring your left hip back. We're just going to give this a try. You need to ground down through this hip, right? Press the outer hip down. Use your tailbone to get super, super strong. Take this hand, your left hand, and drop it back behind you. Come forward and clasp underneath. Fill out the kidneys, and now extend your heart forward. Extend, lean back, lean back, lean back. Keep going, keep going. If you can't clasp, don't worry about it. Just do the best you can. You're in that lunge, lean back, and lean back, lean back. More lean back, lean. Nice work. Good job. Slowly release the bind and take downward facing dog. Richard said to do the other side. All right, leg rises up behind you. Step your foot forward. Plant your back foot, bring your left arm to the thigh, right hand to the hip. Spin towards the cabinets. So you want to draw the tailbone down just a little bit. It's like a pinch of salt, right? Too much salt in cookies is not good. Same thing with the tailbone. Too much tailbone, not good. Move into the kidneys a little bit. Extend your heart forward. Even let your shoulders rise up and soften. And then take your left arm. Is that correct? Your right arm. Close your armpit towards your face a little so that your hand is actually turning slightly towards the back wall. And extend your rib cage open. Yeah, go a tad bit deeper in your lunges. So to do this bind, you gotta get really, really strong in your left hip to hold you. So bring your right hand back to your hip. Move the left hip down. You should move into the kidneys a lot on your left side, right? That hip is super strong. Bring this hand back behind you. Come forward and see if you can clasp. Really root down through that left hip and then extend your heart forward. If you're having trouble with your top shoulder, let your right shoulder rise up towards your ear just a tad bit, and then put the shoulder blade on the back and see if you can get more extension. And breathe. Lean back, lean back. Heart goes forward. One more breath. You guys can do this. Expand the pose a tad bit more. Nice. Downward facing dog. Nice and easy. Go forward, plank pose. Exhale down through chaturanga. And cobra pose. up on your heels. I'm personally not a fan of child's pose when I'm hot. Oh, I mean, you can.
No,
be
it makes
there,
you
but
way hotter.
I know, I just feel like it makes me more tired.
It does because your like breath is like. Stitch me.
Yep. Get a drink of water if you want, and that's the moment. You're literally this is a hard class.
Harder when you're on your cycle.
Yeah, there's more fatigue. Yes, there is.
Thank you, full moon.
Oh, yeah? It's tomorrow night. All right, now we're facing dog. Bring your gaze between your hands and step your feet up to the top of the mat. Second toes are parallel, please. And look at lengthening the spine, so you come up halfway. Now remember, the inner thighs go back, lengthen the side body so the shoulders rise up a little bit, and the bottom tips of the shoulder blades curl into the back side of the heart. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale, keep your arms up in front of you and come overhead, nice and drop. And bring your hands to your cross. Roll. You're gonna bring your right knee up and cross your hands over your right knee. Make sure you ground down through the tailbone in the left hip. Take your right arm back behind you. Pause a minute. Move into the kidneys. Lift the heart and start to twist more. And if you have better balance, you can take your gaze back behind you. If your balance is iffy, keep your gaze in front of you. If you need the extra support. Sorry. Standing leg should be straight. Straight, Chelsea. Yes, very good. And turn your palm towards the cabinets. Yeah, good.
My balance is not here.
That's good. Very good. All right, you guys come back to center and release. Left leg comes up. Best if you have your foot flexed. Take your hands around the knee. Round down through the right hip so the tailbone roots down. And then go ahead and take your arm out to the side. Pause for a minute, lengthen the side body. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back, move into the kidneys just for good measure, and go ahead and twist more. Your gaze might stay out front, I'm going to take it back behind you. Standing leg is really straight and strong. Come back to center. Good. Bring your hands to your heart. Do you guys want a long guided relaxation today? Like 20 minutes?
Yep. Sounds great.
Yeah, Yes, he says the deal. Right, keep your arms down by your sides, inhale, arms up overhead, and just hold up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise halfway up. It's an in the spine. Yeah. Remember, body tips of the shoulder blades, crown into the back. And let your hands go back to your toes. Hug the shins together. Lift the inner thighs up. Root the tailbone down and move into kidneys. Take a deep breath and lengthen the side bodies. Melt the heart so the shoulder blades settle onto the back. Keep the sides of the throat flowing back. Yeah. Exhale down to the chin. Heart leads and take over pose. Straighten out your feet. Nice choice. And forward down facing. Lift your right leg up deeply. And step it up to the Bring your fingertips up in front of you, another foot, and lift your back leg up. Inner thighs lifting for this flex. So I want you to move into the back body first. So puff up the back body, press into your foot and ground down through that leg. Now, bend your elbows a little bit, lengthen the side body, and extend your heart down towards your big toe and lift your left leg up higher. And watch it, because the body wants to collapse on the right side. So fill out the back side of the waist on the right side, and then lengthen the whole side body, and think about melting the heart down towards your toes. In the outer hip or in here? I'm not sure, but probably you're not using this muscle enough, then it takes it up here. So you have to get the root down more for the tailbone and just this muscle. Step back. No one. Control it as you step back.
I'm listening to my.
Oh, yeah. So you tend to collapse. If it's on the standing leg, you're not using the kidney enough on that side, and you're not using the hip enough on that side. So if I'm not using my hip, I look collapsed here, right? If I move into the back body and press down, look at the difference.
Yeah.
And so then I'm using the gluteal muscle.
Okay.
And if I don't, I collapse.
You pulled up from your hip though?
No, it's kidney, so I pull up the rib cage and move the tailbone down and press into my standing leg, and that engages all of this.
Okay.
So we'll try to the other side and see how it goes.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like,
Come down into a low lunge. How long have you been up there? We're facing the clock. Just 10 minutes. Okay, we'll try it on the other side. Left leg rises up behind you. Step your foot. Bring your fingertips up front. And your back foot comes up, and it's only hip height for you. So take a minute to set yourself up. You're lifting with the inner thigh on your right leg, and your foot is flexed. Flex your foot on the right leg. It's off the floor. I want you to root down. Think about pushing the tailbone down and pressing the left hip down into the left foot, which presses into the earth. So you puff up the left side of the body. Now take a breath and lengthen the side body and melt your heart down towards your toes and lift your back leg up higher. Now, again, pause, move into the kidneys again on the left side and lengthen the left side of the body, because that's where the collapse typically happens. And you are collapsing on the left side. So come back into it. Stay up on your fingertips. Yep. This. Pull your belly in. This has to go in. Yeah. That's it. So try it again. All right, low lunge for everybody else. Try it again so you get it, right? Yeah, good. It's like that. So just stay right here. So don't even try to look at it. Hold this here. Pull your belly, pull your belly. No.
I don't know where to pull it upside down.
It's all
I
right.
can do it sitting up.
Yeah, all right, you guys, take child's pose for a second. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll find it for you. Don't worry about it. Lift your head up. Okay, so you're gonna sit right here. Okay, so you're gonna go. Yeah. Okay. Pull this in. No, you're pulling it up. Pull it into the body. Yes, only pull this in. Yeah, that's it.
Make sure you get there a
Then
half
you're
hour.
laying over top of that.
You should.
Yeah. I'm just trying, my leg keeps hyperextending.
Yeah, that's all right.
Huh?
And then that's the other problem. That's the other reason.
My leg, every time I try to keep it from under my knee, it keeps going back. My keeps locking out.
Because like
Yeah,
he,
so you got a lot rolling.
It's just like all about it.
Essentially, why it's
He wrote
up here.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it.
I know. All right, lucky that she needed help because you guys got a break. Right?
Much needed.
Oh, but one more time for good measure, then we're facing dog. You can never do too many chaturangas. Low forward plank pose. Exhale down for chaturanga. And take cobra. Downward facing dog. Look forward, step your feet up and take a seat. Oh, very good. Extend your left leg up. Right knee is bent. I am going to give you the option of a bind when we go into this twist because you did a bind earlier. But if you can't get it, just do the regular twist. All right, don't struggle with it if you can't clasp. A couple of you will be able to clasp. So I want you to just hug your knee and just on your fingertips behind you, all right, with your right hand. Right hand's behind you. Take a nice deep breath and lengthen the side body. Get up taller and let your shoulders rise up. Now go into a little bit of more of a twist and take your left elbow to the outside of the knee. All right, those of you who want to try the bind are going to have to look up front. You're going to take your left hand and thread it. I didn't practice this one, so I might not be able to get into it. You thread your arm under. There we go. So clasp. All right. Yep. There's probably a couple of you who can get into it. Chelsea, try lifting your foot up off your right foot up off the floor and see if you can get underneath. Yeah, you got it, my dear. Put your foot back on the floor. Yeah, and then everybody put a micro bend in the right elbow. Put your right shoulder blade into the back body and lengthen up, up, up. Yes, very good. Nice work. Put your foot back on the floor. Yeah, there you go. Then go ahead and come back to center and release. Switch sides. So just start by hugging your knee. Make sure you're on your fingertips so that the side body is nice and long. And take a breath and get some length. Lift the heart up a little bit. And then when you're ready, slide the elbow to the outside of the knee and go a little bit deeper in your twist. So if you want to try the bind, the right arm goes under. You might have to lift up your right foot. And take your other arm behind you and then put your foot back on the floor.
Yeah, my shoulder.
Lift, so take a deep breath and lengthen the shoulders. Bend your left elbow a little bit to get the left shoulder blade tip on your back. Make sure that your right foot stays flexed.
I want you to come back home and love just leaving you here.
And go ahead and release. Flex both of your feet, second toes are parallel, inner thighs down, outer hips up. Really make sure that the outer hips go up so you're on your sit bones, right? Because you'll have a better chance of tipping your pelvis forward. Place your fingertips out in front of you. Push the inner thighs down into the floor, right? Now, take a breath and let your shoulders rise up. Put your shoulder blades on your back. Bend your elbows out to the side and pull your heart towards the toes and then release slightly through the back of the neck. And I flex the pinky side of your foot back. Flex the pinky side of your foot back.
Come back home. On the Celtic
Alright, you guys bring yourselves up. So we're going to try another bind, a little bit easier. This one I want all of you guys to try. So extend your left leg and try your right leg. So you're going to take your left hand to your right shin. And take your right arm up. Got it? Come forward on the inside your right arm. Now, you want to hug your right knee into your shoulder and come forward as far as you can because you're going to take this right hand and wrap it back behind you. And you want to try and get your shin in your arm. If you tighten the hips, it's not going to happen. But try. You got it? All right. Take your other arm out. Your left, drop your left thumb. Let your shoulders rise up and pull towards the wall and then reach it behind you in baby clasp. So if you absolutely aren't going to get that bind and you know it, come forward with this arm and reach for your foot. Right? So that you can, yeah, and you can just hold on to your shin with your other hand. So the binds, when you get into these binds, you really are working the hips and the shoulders. You're opening up the shoulders, you're opening up the hips. Go ahead and rise up, nice and easy. And I'm still going to tell you to try the other side, right? And then if you can't get into it, you go and head towards the motivation and we'll do what you would. So grab your left shin with your right hand and take your left arm up and come forward. Pause for a minute and pull your knee into the outer shoulder. Come forward as far as you can. The closer you can get your shin into the armpit, the better chance you have of getting into the full pose. When you take your right arm out, drop the thumb, take a breath and let the shoulders rise up and then reach towards the wall and sweep it back behind you. And that'll give you the extra space.
So close. Got it.
Yay! And the reason I ask you guys to try both sides is because the body is not symmetrical. And you might be able to get it on one side where you didn't get it on the other side. All right, nice and easy. None of that pose. Excuse me.
Which is probably why I can't sit on the other side because my hip will move.
Nice work. Okay, you guys. Any questions about stuff we did today? That was enough. Bend your knees, please. Your feet are fairly close into your hips, but don't jam your knees or anything. I want you to bend your elbows so your fingertips are going up towards the sky and your palms are facing each other. Good. Get your elbows close into your body. The first thing I want you to do is walk. You're lengthening the side body, but you're going to walk each shoulder up towards your ear a little bit. And then keep them up there and tuck each shoulder blade underneath you without lifting your hips. I want you to push the elbows down in the back of the head a little bit and puff up your chest. Puff up your chest, really. Push down and lift the heart center as much as you can. Yeah, good. From that point, now go ahead, press your feet into the earth and lift your hips up. So again, just a pinch of salt. I want you to move the tailbone up just a teeny bit. Now I want you to push the upper arms and the back of the head into the floor and try to lift your heart up higher. Garrett, drop your chin about an inch. Yes. So you keep pushing the upper body down into the earth, and the heart responds by lifting more and taking you deeper in the low back bend. If you start taking it in the low back, just a teeny bit of tailbone. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. And go ahead and release. Place your hands on your belly for a minute. Feel free to close your eyes and take a couple of breaths. Fingertips are going up towards the sky. Elbows are hugged in fairly close to the body. Walk one shoulder up at a time, and then place one shoulder blade on the back at a time and get your elbows tucked in. Keep your hips on the floor. Push your elbows down and lift your heart. Press a little bit into the back of the head. That'll help you too. So the heart's nice and full. Now go ahead, nice and easy. Lift the hips. Keep pushing the elbows down. When you push the feet into the earth, the hips lift higher. When you press the upper arms, top of the shoulders, in the back of the head, the heart lifts. And then just a teeny bit of tailbone. So if you guys want, if anybody wants to take a little bit farther, you can straighten the arms and walk your shoulders back more and interlace your hands and they're on the floor. close your eyes for a second. So one last time. Fingertips go up towards the sky. Take your shoulders, lengthen the side body by taking your shoulders up towards the top of your mat, and then tuck the shoulder blades under the back. Good. Push down with the upper body and just puff up the heart. Keep your hips on the floor for a second. But now really press. Press into the feet, the upper arms, the back of the head, and lift the hips, and lift the heart up even more. You guys have a couple of options. You can lift your hips in front. The third option, which takes you up higher, you might have to come up on your toes for a minute, is you walk back and place your hands at the top of the hips at the sacrum. And then if you bring your heels back down to the floor. Yeah, you really gotta tuck your elbows way in. Otherwise, you've got the other two options. You can interlace your hands, or you can keep your hands in the first position. So you have to hug your knees together, not all the way, but your knees are split out, so you want to hug your knees. Yes, that's it. That will also help develop some of the muscles that you need to engage. Let's go ahead and release. Put your hands on your belly for a minute. Roll to one side. And because you guys will be resting for 20 minutes, I strongly recommend that you get warm stuff to put on, all right? So when you're ready, bring yourselves up, grab socks, sweatshirts. If you have a coat, I even say lay it like over your torso. Because if you get cool while we're doing this, you're gonna not relax as much as you would if you'd stay kind of cozy and warm. Begin to draw this golden white light up through your feet. And draw it up on the in-breath through your feet, up through the legs, hips, the torso, to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, notice this beautiful white golden light run down from your head, your shoulders, your arms, and into your hands. With each in-breath, this energy draws into the body this beautiful, pulsating, shimmering, white golden light. And it travels from the feet all the way up to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, this beautiful, shimmering, pulsating, white golden light runs from the crown of your head down into your hands. With each breath, the light becomes brighter and more expansive within your body. Feel the whole body begin to fill and expand with this energy every single breath. This beautiful, shimmering, white, golden light is so expansive and so vibrant that it moves slightly beyond the boundaries of your skin. So it encases your body in this golden white orb of light. And take the light from the feet and gently draw it up to the center of the body. Notice how the energy and the light becomes more condensed, more intensified. And then draw this beautiful golden white light from your hands, up your arms, also to the center of the body. So that the shimmering, pulsating, golden white light rests at the center of the body. Now gently draw the light, this golden white pulsating energy from the left side of the body, and gently draw it in towards the spine. Take this beautiful white golden light from the right side of the body and draw it in to the spine. And you now have this rod of golden white shimmering base of your spine. Begin to draw this beautiful golden white light along the spinal column until it rests at the heart center. Draw the golden white light from the crown of the head down along the spine to the heart center until you have this golden white orb of light. Notice how it gently pulsates and rotates with life. Resting right in the middle of the heart. This orb of golden, white, shimmering light, and draw it down to the size of a large jewel. Notice how the intensity, this energy changes as you narrow it down. Shimmers and pulsates. And take this jewel size light up along through the throat and place it at the top of your nasal passage, right between your eyebrows. And just watch this small shaped white golden light simply floats up and rests at the crown of your head. Gently spins and pulsates and sparkles with energy and life. Small jewel-shaped orb of light is filled with so much energy, so much vibrancy that it begins to break open, and the light streams out and cascades down your head, through your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your torso, hips, legs, and once again, the energy comes from this white, golden, pulsing light is so expansive, and it just moves slightly beyond the boundaries of your skin. Encasing your whole body in this beautiful orb of golden white light. Deep breath in and a long breath out. And bend your knees, gently roll over to your right side. And slowly make your way to a sitting position. Hands come to your heart. this thing.